Hello, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor and leverage for change. Today, I want to introduce you to the anxious preoccupied attachment style. This person wants a lot of attention. They want a lot of closeness in the relationship. They will easily agree to go on joint vacations together and move in together. They want to spend their free time together early in the relationship, even if they don't really initiate it. They love physical contact, like holding hands, caressing, kissing, and cuddling. This person also will easily express their insecurities and fears of abandonment. They are usually curious about past partners, because they're trying to measure how they measure up to this person in comparison. They're always vigilant and checking to see if you're still connected to your ex or someone in some way. They can be very jealous of anyone they see as competition, and this could mean even your family members, your children, or your friends. And they will go overboard to try to please you, at the risk of really not pleasing themselves, because they have a great fear of being abandoned by their partner. Now remember that this attachment style developed because their caregivers there was an inconsistency in the way they cared for them. So sometimes they will be there for them, to hold them, to pick them up, to change them, whatever it is, to hug them, kiss them, play with them. And other times they will just be missing. And so this person develops this kind of attachment style, and it translates and shows up again in their intimate relationships. So this person is usually very unhappy when they're not in a relationship. And they have the tendency to rush into relationships with just pretty much anyone because of this big fear of being alone. They will connect really too quickly with potential partners before they take the time to really get to know them. And when they connect with a partner, they will start planning in their heads, maybe not out to the partner, but they'll start planning about a future with this person even after a few dates. This anxious, preoccupied attachment style will also play games because they feel that by playing these games, they will keep your attention. So sometimes if you are not connecting with them in the way that they wish that you connect with them, say you may not have called or spoken to them in a few days, they will act distant and uninterested, and they will pretend to be busy even when they're not. They may even talk about someone of the opposite sex to make you jealous. This person will also act out when upset, but they won't say what is wrong, because remember the people-pleasing part of that. They kind of also want and expect you to know what is wrong with them, because to them you should know them enough to know what's bothering them. They do not express their needs and will wait until all of these indiscretions or whatever it is that they needed accumulate to a point when they just explode and act out. Sometimes they will threaten to leave, but they never do, and it's like a coping mechanism. They're threatening to see how you will react. They have a tendency to make everything about them. So for example, if you're tired and you don't feel like talking, they will, maybe pout and say you don't love them anymore. This style also will let you set the tone of the relationship for fear of getting hurt. They're afraid of getting hurt if they initiate certain things. So they are quite fine allowing you to set the tone. And they're pretty preoccupied with the relationship. And you can kind of tell that by the way they think about and talk about the relationship a lot. And when they're not with you, they're constantly talking about it to anybody else who will listen, their friends, their family. And pretty much every waking moment almost is spent thinking about you and the relationship. They can also be very suspicious that you may be unfaithful and is hyper vigilant for any signs that they may be abandoned, because they're very fearful that any small discontent in the relationship may mean the end of it. So they do the people pleasing thing. They will let you get away with a lot of stuff. They won't say how they really feel about certain things because of this fear of abandonment that they felt when they were children. And so this translates, as I said earlier, into their intimate relationships. So hopefully you have gotten a feel of what the anxious preoccupied attachment style is like. And I will be making more videos on this, and also how to cope with someone like this, and also how the anxious preoccupied person can also make changes to be better equipped for more healthy relationships. This is Christine, your relationship and mindset mastery doctor and leverage for change. Have a great day.